Hello YouTubers, Atari Leaf here. Tim Hortons. This is a video response to Steve Benway's video about why he dislikes the NES and the Master System. And I've got to say that I do understand and appreciate where he's coming from. And maybe it's an age thing too. I think Steve and I are pretty close to the same age. I'm 40 myself. I'm not sure how old Steve is, but I get the feeling he's around there too. And I've mentioned in one of my other videos before that by the time the mid-80s came around, I was doing most of my gaming here on the Tandy-Color computer. I had gotten away from consoles after the Atari, after the video game crash, and by the time the NES came out, I was still using the Coco. Never did get into the Master System. I had a friend who had one, and it was nice. It was a good system, but I enjoyed not just gaming on here, but the other aspects of computing, programming. I was going on bulletin boards, local bulletin boards back then too. And it wasn't until 1988 that I finally did decide to get a NES. And when I first got it, I agreed with about the Rob the Robot. I didn't understand the point of that. It just seemed to be a toy to me, and I was about 19 years old at the time, so that didn't appeal to me. But when it first came out, of course, it came with this. When I had it and I got this. Now, people are going to hate me for saying this, but I can't stand the Super Mario Brothers games. And when I got this, I played Duck Hunt most of the time, because I couldn't understand this Mario game. It seemed pointless to me and kind of childish. But anyway, that's me. And originally, when I first got the Nintendo, I kind of dismissed it. I thought, why did I spend my money on this thing? I don't even really enjoy it because of Mario, and there was a couple other games that I had, and I just didn't seem to like it. But it wasn't until I started renting some games, like this one, RC Pro-Ram. I eventually bought them. Blades of Steel, Life Force, Metroid, and a few others that aren't here, like Double Dragon and Contra. Started playing those with friends of mine that I thought, wow, this is really a good system. And by the late 80s, I'd kind of put the Coco away for a while. Wasn't using that anymore. So I did get back into console gaming because of the NES. And shortly after that, I got a TurboGrafx 16. So I can understand where Steve is coming from. It seemed kind of pointless at the time, from my point of view too, until I actually got an NES and started playing it, and playing some of the more diverse games, not just Mario Brothers. But and the Master System I'm starting to appreciate now, because like I said, I didn't have one back then, and only knew one person who had one. But so that's just my personal take on the whole NES Master System thing. And again, I'll reiterate this, I think age has a lot to do with it. I wasn't a kid when the NES came out. I was close to adulthood. I was late teens, maybe close to 20 when it came out. So that kind of shapes your viewpoint too, I guess. When Atari came out, I was a kid, and it was great. I wanted the Atari, loved the Atari. When the NES came out, I still liked video gaming, but I had to kind of be, what's the word I'm looking for? Slowly, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But it took me a while to get into the NES. But when I did, I really did appreciate it, and I do appreciate where these two systems come in the history of gaming, and how important they were to really get the ball rolling post-crash. So that's just my ramblings on the whole issue. I can understand where Steve is coming from, and I appreciate it, and I have no problem with what he says. And that's it. This is Atari Leaf. See ya.